Hey everyone, I hope you're well. I'm not the best player in Apex Legends, but I have been pretty much solo queuing all of the way up until today. So I guess one of my skills, which is perhaps above average, is my ability to know what to do in 1v3 situations, or even dealing with multi-team situations when I'm solo. So in this video, I want to go over some engagements I have and explain my thought process so you can know what to do when you get in these situations too. Sometimes it's hard to just give you a set number of rules to go off of when it comes to engaging 1v3 situations. So instead, I'm going to start this series called Watch and Learn, where if I have some engagements where I feel like I could teach you something, I'll slow it down and explain what's going on through my head, and maybe you could learn something through that. So I'm going to start here because I just want to make it clear for anybody that doesn't know. If you kill a downed player that got downed by a team that's no longer in the server, you will get the kill for it. Anyway, we finish this fight and then another team comes in to try and third party us. It was a nade. Floor, okay. Now we gotta be careful here. Now, when you're in Capital City specifically, it's third party central. So if you're playing solo, you need to learn how to bait third parties. In some situations, you can 1v3 fine, but whether or not you can, it comes down on your ability to gauge how strong or aggressive that team is. Usually, if a squad is really aggressive and they're sticking really close together, it's best not to stick with it. At that point, you probably want to bail. So in this situation, the team's coming and trying to get a feel for how aggressive they are. I can hear them coming, all 3 footsteps, and that tells me that they are pretty well organized, but we may still be able to catch them off guard. So we sit up here and wait for the first person to come up. Unfortunately, we do not finish this 1v1, so at this point we have to bail, because I'm thinking in my head, I know they are pretty aggressive. They're not sticking together super hardcore, but they are pretty aggressive. So we go to the other building. At this point, they are still chasing us down. That's unfortunate. Hoping we could at least down one of them, but maybe if we get... Ooh, that's a cheeky shot on me. Jeez. Any of them stay behind? Oh. Seriously, I need help from a third party or something. There's one here being kind of solo. So if you listen to what I'm saying here, this is part of my live stream, by the way, but essentially first I'm trying to kind of scout out what's happening. I was hoping that maybe one of the teammates of this team stayed behind in the other building, which would essentially allow me to 2v1 instead of 3v1, but we quickly found out that nope, they all pushed up super aggressively, but I wasn't ready to leave just yet. I was hoping maybe we could catch one slightly out of position. Unfortunately, we did later find out that they were sticking together really well, and at that point we really needed to just get out of there. Oh, back we go to this building. Seriously, there's got to be a third party eventually. So when you're playing solo and there's a really aggressive squad like this, we've assessed the situation pretty well. We know that we just cannot deal with this. We cannot deal with this team. They are too aggressive. Thankfully, we are in Capital City. We're a high mobility legend, which means we can easily bail out, go in between cover and wait until a third party comes. And at that point, we can then push in. You can even hear me saying here that we need to kind of wait for a third party or something, because there's no way I'm going to pick 1v1s in this fight. It's just not going to happen. Stay up, just sticking in a little pack. There we go. Sounds more like it. So this team was absolutely oblivious once they were engaged in a fight, which was quite amusing. Essentially, we wanted to try and just quickly scout out what's happening. We could tell straight away they were super engaged, so the quicker we got there, the better. But there was one straggler, so we needed to deal with him first. We had 2 long-range weapons, so that was no problem. As soon as we got that player downed, we needed to get into the fight as quick as possible because they're involved in a big fight. There's a lot of confusion going on. if we just shoot from afar and sit there, then we're not going to be able to follow up with the kills. We might be late for finishing the third party engagement. We have to push here. At the end of the day, we're playing unranked. We want to go for high kills. I mean, look at my setup. This isn't something that we're going to be doing in ranked. This is just a moment here that we can play on because two teams are very highly engaged. Okay, awesome.
Inside the ring. Whole squad ate my dog. Let's do that again.
This was actually quite a bad play. When we down an entire squad or finish a squad in a third party, it's actually quite a bad situation because we've now taken the entire attention from one of the squads away from the squad we just killed, and their attention is going to go straight to us. And in this moment, I should have backed off and kind of figured out what's happening, maybe wait for some reses and then push in, but instead I push and I'm way out of position here. I mean, we got really lucky. We had a stupid loadout as well. But in this situation, I'm playing highly aggressive just for getting kills. So once again, this wasn't so smart. In this moment, we should have backed out a little bit. That's just kind of what you want to do when you finish a down squad because it's like the whole board is reset, you know? If this is the same aggressive squad that was dealing us problems in the first place, then it's going to be the same story. We're going to be in a 1v3 again. I mean, if you want to get really tactical about it, I feel like one of the most important things is to stay calm, especially after you pull off a crazy play. I mean, in this situation, we did play it pretty well. We took down the Mirage and the Lifeline, which gave us basically 2 kills from that squad and wiped that squad out. We played that really smart, but then obviously this was just pure stupidity. Okay, we're fine.
Attention.
Oh no.
Delivering care package.
Shooting at me.
That's fine. Alright.
Whole squad ate my dust.
If you're curious, I said oh no because I realized that the revive timer would be up before I turned around the corner. Didn't get there soon enough, but it wasn't a problem. Okay.
Champion.
What are you doing? Who are you shooting?
Throwing your back.
Whoa, go, there's another team. I just want to make this abundantly clear. No, that wasn't a smart move. The team was just pretty bad and we got very lucky. If we had close ranged weapons, then this could be alright because we lowered the Bangalore's health, we knocked down a Lifeline, and we don't want her kind of crawling off and getting rezzed or the Bangalore going and hiding and healing. It was almost a complete squad wipe already at this point. So yeah, if we had close range weapons, maybe it would have been smart. But, you know, at the end of the day, Apex Legends, especially in unranked, sometimes you just got to do stupid things and have fun with it. So we could have played this better. I just want you to know that. Don't think that this was a smart play or... I mean, it turned out very cool, but wasn't smart. Okay, now we have to 1v3 them for real.
Come on.
Coming. Maybe they're like, oh, look at all this free loot. Oh, that's one. Two. Alright. Considering the loadout we had, this was the smarter play out of the two plays we just made. We stayed at a distance, we used the jumping mechanic on the triple take to make sure that we stayed low until it was choked to get little sneaky shots off. And yeah, keep your distance long range obviously. If we had an R99, maybe it would have been a different story. Jeez, okay. Alright everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more in-depth analysis like this, let me know. I quite enjoyed making it, and I feel like this is a fun way for us to maybe learn some things about soloing and 1v3ing squads. There's so many little things that are really hard to explain in a general tips and tricks video, and doing it through this method it's much easier to show my thought process and help you to learn too. If you've seen this footage before, it's probably been used as a highlight on a news video, or maybe you saw it on my gameplay channel. If you didn't know I had one, I put highlights from my live stream over there, so I'll put a link to my live stream and my gameplay channel in the description. And on top of that, we now have a new line of merch if you're interested in buying. It is just a bunch of cool stuff to remind you to stay happy, so awesome stuff. Alright, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the comments. Cheerio!